won't call the cops.
Stop! I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I'm here.
Just
leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes
no,
and I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice, see you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop! I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I'm here.
Just
leave me alone.
I will.
So, this is the Charles Perry Stalker podcast. That's Neil there. Charles is worse. Much, much worse. So, imagine for 12 years you can't get a date. You have no real date. You're not wanted. I don't want you. You disgust me. You're a stalker and nothing more. And it is April 7, 2022. So, we'll do the disclaimer. Use allegedly. Nobody's been found guilty in a court of law yet. Apply the but-for standard. But for Mr. Perry stalking me. So, I haven't been on my, like today, for example, we put it out that I have a 4.9 GPA. I'm sorry, 3.9 GPA. I'm on the dean's list in college. So, guess what? I haven't been able to log on to my college website for 3 weeks. I've had to do it on my phone. And sometimes even that's tricky. He'll jam that up too. Everything's a problem. Everything's a drama. Everything is a big mess. Everything that should take 5 minutes takes hours. It is ridiculous. Someone has that much extra time on their hand to sit around and do one thing after another to piss everybody off. And then can't figure out why he can't get a date and he's told on all the time. But for that, but for the catastrophic losses of life, liberty, food, freedom, privacy, cars, homes, we wouldn't do this. Mr. Perry, you are rejected every day for 12 years. You're rejected. I don't want you. You disgust me. And I have to repeat myself, and it pisses me off. I don't like you. You don't get a date. You get told on. You don't get the date ever. You will never get a date with me. You're told on. You're pissing everybody off. Everybody's sick and tired of you and your drama and all the problems you make, that it's really not that hard to get what you just said. When we get that, it's not up to you, sir. We get it. Doesn't matter what you think. We're all kind of tired of you hearing what you think. So, you just pissed everybody off again today. All day long. You do every day. And then it gets easier to get what you just said. How come she always finds out? Well, that's how. Jamming up my computers, causing one problem after another. He's a troublemaker. How boring of a life do you have to sit around and do that all day? So tormenting me is different than this guy.
Talk to me for 2 minutes.
No.
It's in my phone. You can't get anything done. Everything's jammed up. Ever since my grades got out, he does that. I can't get onto my school website. So now you pissed off my guys. Mr. Perry, my guys are in my phone. You're not the only one that can clone a phone. They're in my computer. They sit there and record everything you do. When I'm quoting what you just said, when I'm quoting the McNamara email, for example, they all know you're using my Dasher app, my Uber Eats app, and all those apps. They watch you do it. They sit there and record you do it. We don't think you mind getting caught. You provoke. You antagonize all day, every day. You're like this guy, except you just use electronics a little more because you have a little more money than he does.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice, see you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop! I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I'm here. Leave me alone.
But for Mr. Perry's pathetic and doesn't have a life and has to make everybody else miserable, we wouldn't have to do these. The National Stalker Victims Resource Center recommends documenting stalking activity. So guess what? 90% of my time is spent doing, since we have a little lame, pathetic, nothing individual with no life, reject, who has nothing to do all day but sit around and do things that I got to document. Because there's a criminal case. It's not about civil. It's not only about civil. It's about criminal. You know, your little duck hunting trip with Sam Cummings. That was a crime. You notice in all of his orders, there is not one reason why he's giving me a denial or a dismissal or anything like that. There's no case law cited. There's nothing. You think people didn't... You think that didn't flag off some people? What planet do you live on, sir? In 12 years, not one real date. 12 years. It's not a day. It's not a week. It's not a month. It's not even a year. It's a decade. You're a rejected fail. Too stupid to get off your ass, go work, and go find somebody that likes you. Or even just get your ass to Vegas and buy a woman. Buy one. I thought you had power. Power guys can get a date without having to, kidnap somebody. Or buy a woman. Can't you do that? Can't you even do that? You got to sit on your fat, lazy ass, perverting around all day, jamming up my computers and pissing everybody off? Yeah, I tell you, you don't know how angry people are at you right now. You don't know. When you get told on, that ought to be a little clue. It's not okay what you're doing. That's people going, yeah, we're not okay with that. Someone somewhere, because we don't talk about leaks or wiretap orders or who has which. Is this a leak or is this a wire? Did we get this information from a leak or did we get this information from a wiretap? Or what did we get it from? Or a court order of some sort? I guess I say wiretaps too. When I say wiretaps, take that generally in meaning some type of investigatory something. I'm not in that loop. And I'm sure shit not told who leaks are, Perry. Still fucking ask me every day. Is it this person? Is it that person? I'm not told that. I'm not told that. Please write it down and put it on a sticky on your computer. Cynthia isn't told who the leaks are. Nor it's none of your business. You know what? I wouldn't help you if I was. You know why? Because then when you're gone, when you're in jail, there's no more computer jam-ups. I won't ever be broke again. There's no more losing homes and cars and people I love. You're gone. And it's over. No more suffering. You sit around on your fat, lazy ass and do that all damn day. And you have no alibi to prove otherwise, do you? There won't be any more using my apps to have this guy order. And he's got a camera in his front door. Have him take a picture of her. And Perry's typing that in my phone. We got a picture of you. And I'm like, I did say you're a stalker. I did say that. So, okay, you got a picture of me to prove what? You're stalking me, just like I said? That you hacked my app? My food delivery app, just like I said? Okay, and I'm supposed to be shocked and dismayed. Why? See, I mean, what fucking planet do you live on? You're like this guy.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
and I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice, you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I'm here.
No, just talk.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to, but even when they're not. Unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public, it doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
Okay, so but for shit like that, we wouldn't do these to document and apply the reasonable, prudent individual. Does Neil here look like a reasonable, prudent individual? No. He looks like he can't understand words said to him. And have some class and quit being Jerry Springer. He's all stalker soap opera. He torments that girl and terrorizes her, and that is not how you get women to like you. Torment, starvation, torture. You know what, Perry? The talk was today because you took my social security card. Okay, let me assert all constitutional rights. First Amendment. I can talk about it just like she can. It's not illegal. Mr. I want to pretend I'm a victim. You know, you've lied so much, people laugh at you now. There was a guy that I think I said he was like, that guy from Texas, that little weenie comes up here and with an entourage and says he's under threat. Cynthia moved twice to get away from him. Paid her boss $5,000 not to go to work where he posed a threat to her. He lives in Lubbock. They can't fucking get him to leave Oklahoma. You know anybody that goes where the threat is and won't leave? Walks around with a fucking entourage like that? Says he's under threat? Like, we're laughing at him. How ridiculous is that? He's told like 5 different stories up in Oklahoma. There's that one, then there's the I'm a victim of a political vendetta. Where? From who? Where's the email rants? Where's the Twitter rants about a political issue? Did you imagine that, or did you just lie? I mean, we still are waiting to hear what happened there. You didn't matter to me. I had people I worked with already before I met you. I was raised in the home of an elected official. I didn't do Texas legislation. What I need you for? You needed me to introduce you to people I already was working with. Yeah, see, you lie and you don't think that through. And you do that a lot. And now it's kind of piling up on you, sir. When we get what you just said, did anybody call you and ask you for your consent? I don't think they did. It's not up to you. It's up to us. Always has been, always will be. McNamara email? Did you get a phone call? Fabian puzzle? Mike was drugged email? All those emails I had before? Did you get a phone call asking your permission? Nope, it's not up to you. So you come up here and you tell people, I'm a victim of a political vendetta. In 12 years, there's nothing. I don't live there. You don't legislate in Oklahoma. Where do you actually live? There's questions about that too. Where's your legal residency? Because we've heard that you are up here so much, it might be Oklahoma, not Texas. And you want to get me kicked out of my home. I've been saying that for a year. You want to take my car. I've been saying that since 2019. You know why? Because you're recorded talking about it constantly. Constantly. You just go at it different angles. Same thing with a second false arrest. Same thing with my murder. Over and over and over, you're caught. When you're in jail, we don't have to put up with this shit anymore. So what do you think we all want? We don't want you around here. Everything's a drama. Everything's a problem. Everything's a big ordeal. What should take 5 minutes takes hours. You're a troublemaker and you're not wanted and you're being pushed back every time you're told on. Everybody's life is hell because you're in it. So the other story is, he comes up and tells everybody that's his girlfriend. Then he tells some people that's his fiance. Then he starts waving around a forged marriage license and telling everybody that's his wife and a forged power of attorney and getting information he doesn't legally shouldn't have. Stucky asked me about that. Did you sign that? No. Why the fuck would I do that, Lucky? Yeah, I didn't think so. It doesn't look like your signature. So we had to see what kind of consent you gave, nothing. He's a stalker. Get him off me. Lucky's concern at the time was, he said, I'm concerned Mr. Perry has a necrophilia problem. He wants to kill her and have sex with her dead body, and he's running this fantasy through his head over and over and over and over, and he's obsessed with making it happen, and he's not going to do it in my jurisdiction. Is that why you killed him? Because Mike didn't have a mark on him, and I said he was drugged months before, because my guys went and checked, and they're investigating you. They're investigating you, and guess what? When we get information, it's not up to you. We get it without your consent, without your permission. Nobody needs to ask you, and you don't get to have information on who leaks. I don't even have it. I'm not dangerous, and you are. So there's all these different stories he's told up here, and the guy goes, all those stories contradict. It's either political or it's personal. Either he's on a political vendetta, he's got a political vendetta, and so much so she filed a false police report over it that was never investigated and confirmed false or true because he obstructed justice. Now we don't know because he destroyed her evidence. Or so it's either political or it's personal. Is that his wife, or is this a political, or is she a threat? I mean, which one is it? All those things contradict. She can't be his wife and a threat. And he won't leave Oklahoma. Won't leave Oklahoma. $5,000 is a lot of money paid not to go to work. That's just what I paid in no-show fines. You know how much I've lost from missing all that time at work that I could have been making money? Yeah, you're going to pay that. My guy's already got the number. He's got that totaled up. There's a thing called restitution. There's a thing called after you're convicted, another civil suit. But you're going to leave me the fuck alone. Here's the thing. If they can get that information, Mr. Perry, from you, and it's not up to you. My guy said, you're going to get off of her, or I'll do it for you. Get out of her life, or I'll do it for you. Same way I got that information. Didn't need your consent. Leave her alone. When he can tell you that to your face, he will. You're not going to like it. You can do it by yourself like a big boy, and it won't be so problematic for you and your little, the Queenie club that y'all have. Sitting around trying to figure out how to make me fail. Let's jam her computer up. Let's jam up her phone. Let's make sure she gets kicked out of her house. Let's make her go back to Texas. Okay, so now here's the new thing. He stole my social security card, and what happened is my guy calls me and he goes, get your social security card out of your purse. He's going to steal it. He's going to have somebody take it. I forgot. I got busy. I forgot all about it. And then he calls me about 2 weeks later. Sin, you didn't get your social out of your wallet, did you? I said, no, I forgot. Why? And he goes, they have it. They're talking about it right now. They've got it. Check your wallet. If it's not there, drop everything you're doing and report it stolen right this minute. So I did. And then I filed all that with the court it's on the docket. CJ-2018-02775. Tulsa County Court. It's filed. Anybody can pull up the report to the Social Security Administration that it was stolen. They can see the date. That was the date he called and told me you had it. They caught you. Then they took my birth certificate. Guess what they did? On the night of Lucky Miller's procession, all the cops were at the procession. Tulsa County came out there and kind of filled in if they got a call. But guess what? There was a couple of those guys that worked in Manfred that would kind of patrol the area where my storage unit was. They were at the procession. So my storage unit was broken into and my birth certificate taken out of that. So now questions are, why does he have those documents? What does he need them for? He's been trying to take my driver's license too. Do you know you're already caught? Because we've had to say these things over and over and over, and you keep trying again and again and again and again, but you're caught. And every time you talk about it, we don't have Alzheimer's. We keep all that shit. We don't destroy evidence. So when you talk about it one time, we got a recording out about it one time. And then I put an email out about it to my attorneys. He's going to do this. He's talking about doing that. And then you go, oh, she found out. So let's create a panacea and let's let the dust settle and then we'll try again. And then you talk about it again. Now we got 2 recordings about it. And then 3 and then 4 and then 5. And it's all kept in a file. You're caught already. And you'll do it anyway. Or you'll try to do it anyway. Or you'll talk about it again. Let's just wait a little bit and then we'll try again in a month. We'll try again in a year. And you're caught. Because we've heard all those too. When you're sitting there going, "Whoa, let's create a panacea. And let the dust settle. We get her to take the yellow brick road?" Okay, so now the yellow brick road talk is maybe he's already sold her in some sex trafficking deal. Why do you need those documents? Why would he need her birth certificate and her driver's license and her social security card? What does he need to do? What's he doing with that? You're nothing to me. You don't need to be in my life at all, much less having that. The allegations are stalking. So whatever you do, and hacking and voyeurism. So whatever you do, We're gonna prove that. Well, but yeah, I said he was doing that. I said he hacked my phone. I said he's using my food delivery apps, sending customers to get me in certain places at certain times. I got a buddy that's got a doorbell with a camera on it. Have him order. You know, these apps they choose drivers by algorithm. So you have to have hacked. We called DoorDash. We called Uber Eats. We called these people, and I Googled it too, because I can't, play that recording for you. The cops have it. So you can't choose that. It's all on an algorithm. So when I show up your buddy's house with his camera on his door, and I get photographs, and then Charles is typing in my phone, I took a picture of you. I took a picture of you. We have photos of you. Yeah, okay, and you're doing exactly what I said you're doing. Thanks. Thank you. You're also limiting my income. Thanks. Thank you. So when I get shitty things like, drive 20 miles and we'll pay you $2. You're with your canned food again. Get out of my app. Get the fuck out of my app. So it's worse for me than her, because he's in my phone. He watches me in my house. It's worse. She can go to her house and she's free of this guy. She can do whatever she wants. She has a privacy. You have the right to privacy in your house, Perry. Sicko. Get off your ass and stop perverting around. You're caught. More than ever when you fuck with me. That's not up to you. No one asked you permission. This is called law enforcement. So that's the thing now. He's got her sold, and he can't deliver. He probably took half the money up front and half when she's delivered. That's why they're so desperate to get her to Texas. He's got her sold, and he can't deliver. So it's much worse than this guy.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
You don't have the right to shit. You're a rejected failure. Too stupid to figure out how to move on. I've been like, take your skirt off and wipe that lipstick off your face and act like a man. You're a grown-ass man. Act like one. Everybody's sick and tired of your stalker soap opera. I want the marriage license. Do you know he won't give it to me? I'm like telling his attorney, I want a copy of the marriage license that has my signature on it, only it's not my signature. It's a forgery. And a power of attorney that you have too. My consent was never given, ever. Not a consenting party. And that was also recorded tonight. And I'm not going to tell you who said it, because there's a lot of people that you use. So I'm not going to tell you which person said it that you use. But the guy said, there's no consent. She's not a consenting party. And he goes, so he lied to us. Yeah, and he's trying to force her to lie too, and he's trying to use us to do that. The guy was not happy. He's pretty upset about it. So you're pissing everybody off, sir. Everybody's pissed. Get out of my phone. Get your fucking cameras off me. Get out of my apps. Get out of my computer. Get out of my school. Get your fucking hands out of my wallet. Or they'll do it for you. Whichever comes first. It's going to happen. We're sick and tired of you. Everybody's mad at you. Everybody's mad at you. Who the fuck do you think you're fooling? When we get that stuff, the Fabian puzzle, wasn't up to you, was it? Nope. Somebody with a lot more power, that's who it's up to. I got that in jail, right up under your nose. Hold on. What is that? Is that your guy? Is that your canned food? Is this your person? I mean, how do we know which ones are yours and how do you know which ones are yours and which ones are just random? They're all yours. You hacked my whole thing. See that? That's Fabian's name intersecting with the word hope. I got that in jail. Not at some random time. And it's not just some random name and some random word. It was in jail, and it's Fabian's name, and it's the word hope. And the words sad and boo depict the fear and sadness Mr. Perry causes. And the word me depicts his selfishness, and he's a butt-in and nothing more. Not invited, not wanted. I don't want you. You sicko. You're a sicko. You're a cop killer. I don't want you. I come from cop. That was the other thing. I think maybe you need to explore all possibilities. One of those possibilities might be that Charles thought that Lucky and Mike were interfering with his relationship, his imaginary relationship with Cynthia. So he killed him, and he thought she would be happy about it, kind of like we saw with John Hinckley Jr. and Jodie Foster. He was disappointed she wasn't impressed what he did try to kill the president. And I'm afraid Perry might have been thinking the same thing. And when she was horrified by it, and I was, still am, there's not a day that goes by I don't talk about it. Get him out. Get him the fuck out of jail. If you're not guilty, you won't have a problem with that. If you didn't kill him, well, you won't have a problem with that because you didn't do it. You'd want to find out who did. Acts showing consciousness of guilt. You change the carpet in the room where you murder your wife. The police are they're gonna know. That's the first place you look. That's probably where she died. Get the luminol. So, my guy's got this to me. The word boo is a private joke between my friend and I also, so that I would know that was him. That he's the one that got that to me. Who has that kind of power? That's who it's up to. Get off her, or I'll do it for him, he said. Get off of her, or I'll do it for him. The same way I got that puzzle to her. Right up under your nose, right at that time. It's not just any word. It's those words. It's not, I had just told I told him, and I told anybody who would listen. When I met Fabian, I was having a hard time. Daryl just died. We moved to get away from a monster who was ruining my life. And then Daryl died. The person that took all the heavy off of me, that you piled on. He had just died of cancer. My friend Daryl is the one that offered to pay the rent. The first time Charles got me kicked out of a house, that's kind of his thing. He's done it like 5 times now. Daryl calls and says, I'll pay the rent. Please don't make her move. She's going through hell. It's not her fault. Nope, I don't want the money. I just want her out. Well, we weren't partying. You know, I'm a single mom trying to raise Dennis by myself. We weren't partying. We weren't tearing shit up. I was taking very good care of the house. The lawn was mowed. The grass was watered. The house looked nice. It was clean. I'm a single mom raising a child by myself. And I had the 3-bedroom house because my other son was supposed to come home. He fucked with that too. So anyways, your duck hunting trip, Mr. Perry, with Judge Cummings isn't court, and that's not a win. And that will be used against you in your criminal case. So go ahead and tell me again how he types that in my phone. I can see you. I win. So the guy was concerned that you thought eliminating Lucky and Mike would eliminate all your problems, and you could finally have whatever imaginary world that it was you lived in. And that I would be happy about it. And we're like, wow, what planet do you live on that I would be happy about that? And that's what the guy said. He's like John Hinckley Jr., mentally ill. That he was kind of disappointed that she was horrified by it. But you should, if you're not mentally ill, you should know that would horrify me. That's not how you get a date. You got to be able to look around you and see guys who can get a date and do what they do. And torture, torment, starvation of women and children ain't it. Hacking, peeping ain't it. You're a turnoff. But the guys who get me this, it's not just any words at any time. It's those words at that time. I met Fabian, and that's the first thing I told people about him. He makes me hope again. He still makes me hope. He's very kind. He's a great guy. Guess what I loved about him? Worked his ass off. Got off his lazy ass. Well, he's not lazy. Got off his ass and worked, which you don't even know what that is, do you? Do you have that disease that Bruce Willis has, aphasia? Have you already been diagnosed with something like that, or Alzheimer's or senile dementia, and you can't do taxes anymore? Because right now should be your time where you're really busy. Did you forget how to do numbers? How many times was your crime caught before you met me, and how many after? That disease fits with what the shrink said. He writes these. They can subpoena your emails and get them, and you won't know it. She's like, I'm looking at his emails. 3 to 5 word sentences. 2 sentences, maybe. It's like he didn't understand what the hell the person was saying. And this was in January, I said that. January 2021. Last year. She says, I think he can't understand what the hell's being said. He's doing the best he can. So he won't pass a cognitive reasoning test my first grade patients pass. We may not get the death penalty. I don't think his IQ's even 30. So that's what the disease Bruce Willis has. They don't understand what the hell you're saying. They don't respond properly. That's the other thing. How can you not tell cause and effect? When you fuck with me, you get caught. When you fuck with me, you get caught. When you fuck with me, you get caught. Because I have help. I have help that can get that to me in jail. Not just some random time, right then. Not just any words. Not just in the same book or even on the same page, but arranged just like that. Get off of her, he said, or I'll do it for you. It's not up to you. You're breaking the law. I'm the one catching you. I'm going to put you in jail. It would have been better if it's Tulsa police. But if they won't do it, I'm going to do it. But you're not going to bother her. It's a big case because you got a sex trafficking thing. Yep. You got me sold. You took half the money up front. You're getting half on delivery. So that's your desperation to get me back to Texas. You're caught. You're caught. You're caught. You're caught. You're caught. You're caught when you fuck with me. Do you understand what those words mean? Get out of my life. Get out of it. Everything else is just a fraud. That chick at my work said it's not about a date. Something else is going on. He wants us to find a way to put you in jail. Make you like him, and if you won't change your mind, find a way to put you in jail until you change your mind. What the fuck is that? That's not date. That's something else. I didn't finish high school. My family's all fucked up. I had to go to work to feed our family, to keep the lights on, and a roof over our home. My mom, my stepdad are fucking high all the time. So I didn't finish high school, but even I know this is not a date. This is something else. What in the hell? I thought this guy was like some nice little Christian Republican dude. Yep, nope. He's a businessman, except he forgets you got to get contracts in place to prevent a criminal or civil liability, right? The guy that got me this, Perry, said to tell you, you're going to get off me all by yourself or he'll do it for you. The same way he got this to me in jail. You shut up. I need you to understand. Everybody's sick and tired of hearing you talk. We don't want to hear it. Nobody cares what you think. You're not asked. You weren't asked. Shut up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. It just makes you have a headache in your eye every time you start trying to talk. I can see you. I win. I can see you. I win. Shut up. You didn't win. You gave us more evidence of crime. You seeing me in my house is not a turn on, it's a turn off. It's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. Shut up. Mr. Perry, shut up. You know grown men aren't supposed to play with dolls. That's all you do all day, isn't it? Like a 1-year-old little girl. I don't have any words for this. What's that say? What's the date of it? You were butting in between me and Fabian when I wrote this. What's that say? What's the date of it? How much did you sell me for? How much money did you sell me for? I want to know. You're caught. Once you're caught, you're caught. You can table it and let the dust settle and do the panacea thing, but you're still caught. And when you talk about it again, you're caught not once, but twice, but 3 times, on and on. Now we got 20 recordings of y'all talking about one specific thing or 100 or, every night, every day. Let's make a mechanical problem with her car. Let's wreck her car. Let's just tow it. Let's get her to this parking lot and she'll park here and we'll tow it. Use our food delivery apps. How do you know which company I'm working for on any given night? Tonight, DoorDash was busier, so I worked DoorDash. But what nights do I work Uber Eats and Grubhub? And then you guys call up here, oh, can you have her pulled over? I've been asking for months. I need to confirm her license and her registration. Can you have her pulled over? And see, we got that. It wasn't up to you. Someone with a whole lot more power got that from you. We've been calling for months. We want Tulsa police, or we want, OHP or somebody to pull her over. And a lot of them don't want to. In fact, I heard one night, it's been a while since this happened, but it was after Lucky died, and I started trying to help Mike. Is that chick that lost her butt trying to help a cop? I'm gonna have to have a bathroom break when she blows by here. A lot of them don't want to do that. We don't want to be used to coerce. We don't want to be a part of that crime. That's what that is. That money is not yours to blow through. It belongs to the taxpayers of Oklahoma. Get out of Oklahoma. Get out of my life. The more you do, the more you get told on. Every fucking day. There's some today I don't put out. My attorney has it, and that's it. Nobody else has it. And I'm talking about recordings that I typed up. I spend a lot of time doing that. Everything's a problem. Everything's a drama. Everything's a big old ordeal. Hang on. I'm going to sit this phone down, and just let that sit there. Everybody read it. Everybody read it. People are sick of hearing from you. Shut up. Do you see? A lot of people, here's the thing, Perry. Normal people, our shrink just said that the other day when I was talking to her. She goes, you know what? Charles Perry likes to hurt people because he's a sadist. He's mentally ill. Very badly mentally ill. But there are guys around him helping him that don't believe that they are. And I'm telling you, they are. It isn't normal for anyone to want to hurt another person. It is normal to want to help somebody hurting. You could see it in Hurricane Katrina. You could see it when we had Derek Chauvin. People start pulling together. Let's bring these people food. Let's bring these people water. You see commercials in this country, St. Jude's, Feed the Children. You have countless charities where Americans are trying to relieve the suffering of another person. So, for you to have a meeting of guys who sit around and try to make me fail, jam up her computer so she can't go online and get her homework done. We don't like her grades being that high. We got to find a way to make this woman fail. It's not up to you. The guys that got me this right here, they said it's not up to you. So when you do shit like that, boy, they get to work. And then we get shit like this. We get recordings. And record, after more evidence. It's not just recordings, evidence. Lots of evidence against you. Why do you think we're doing that? Because we're just bored? We have nothing else to do? It's building a criminal case, sir. So, that's what our shrink is like. I don't care what guys sit in that meeting and agree to help. You can't bring yourself to do it unless you're a little bit mentally ill too. Because normal humans do not want to do that. They don't want to. And if they're getting paid a little something, it's not just about money. You can go rob a bank, you can get some quick cash, not hurt anybody. And you can wear, if you do it right, you dress, in some kind of disguise, nobody will ever know it was even you. So for them to want to hurt you, something's wrong with them, or they wouldn't. If they need money, they'd find a different way to get it, even if it's illegal. A way that a lot of people do that doesn't hurt other people. Wanting to hurt or ruin someone's life is sadistic in and of itself. And to be able to bring yourself to do that, you got to be a little bit mentally ill too. And that's her words. Those are not mine. So whenever this all goes to court, if you don't like that, you can talk to her about it. That's my grade. So they all have their little meeting. Well, we can't allow that. We got to make her fail. So for 3 weeks now, I haven't been able to log on to my school website to do my homework. I'm having to do it on a borrowed phone. So how pathetic is that? Get the fuck out of my phones, my computers. Get out of my life. Get out of it. Do you understand words? Get out of it. You don't have a choice. They'll do it for you. And when they get what you just said, when they get the information that you just said, McNamara email, Mike was drugged email, get a shoe print, get a ring, all those, over and over and over, and you want to know how she find out. Well, how does she know about the yellow brick road? That was discussed in your meeting. That's how I know. Police got that, and it wasn't up to you. They got that, and they gave it to me. Wasn't up to you. They'll get you off me. If you won't do it by yourself, they'll do it for you. Because you're not going to bother me anymore. And every time you do, you guys get caught. Every time you make a problem, you get caught. You're caught using my apps. You're caught using my apps, Charles. Mr. Perry, you're caught in your crime more than ever since you went at me, sir. I don't want you. We're all sick of you. We want you gone. I wouldn't help you if you were on fire and I had to pee. Wouldn't do it. We want you gone. We're sick and tired of dealing with your crap. Your soap opera, stalker bullshit. Your sex trafficking. Your, coercion. Disgusting. You're disgusting. And you're caught this time. Now, fuck off. If you don't, they'll do it for you. You can do it on your own, with the same way they get what you just said. And you gotta, how'd she find out? They'll do it for you.
I don't care.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
Okay, so real quick, I wanted to go over the bank card. I forgot about that. Okay, so again, my guy calls me. Guess what? They just took your bank card right out of your apartment. So people are watching my house all the time. They're watching me all the time. If I committed a crime, they'd know it. They'd have had me in jail because they're cops. They wouldn't work with me. So all this stuff that you guys think you're going to frame me for this, and I'm going to frame her for that. We got to use, we got to lie. We need a lie. Charles needs a lie. If I did something, then they would have put me in jail themselves. They wouldn't work with me. They know where I am 24/7. So what courtroom would that pop up in if you try to do some sort of fraud upon a court again? You've been threatening me with death, false arrest, economic, financial income loss, and property loss every day since the McNamara email. The McNamara email says we're going to false arrest her to coerce her. You're still trying to do it. You just do it at different angles. There's probably been 7 different things you've tried to false arrest me on. There was dancing with socks on. Oh, let's have her arrested for prostitution. Because I guess in all states, I don't know, if you have your shoes off when you're dancing in a strip club, you could get arrested for prostitution. Now, you're just walking across the floor because your feet hurt. You took your shoes off. Then they get the headline, oh, it's prostitution. But I gave a lot of lap dances to a lot of cops because Mr. Perry's trying to see if he can catch me in something. Remember, 2 of them told me in August 2015, I wrote a letter to the U.S. attorney. That letter was filed with all the court dockets. It's everywhere. It's on the Facebook. It's everywhere. Everyone has seen that letter that I sent to the U.S. attorney right after I talked to them. That's why I wrote it. He told us to just try to find some way to arrest you. We're not going to do it, but that won't mean some asshole won't. There probably would be one. And so there was that. And I asked him, what's the deal with the shoes off? Why is that a prostitution charge? Look at all the girls in here with their shoes off. Their feet hurt. These girls' feet hurt. They're sitting in their chair to take their shoes off. Well, I don't know, but just keep them covered. So I wore socks. But after I stopped dancing, I had stopped dancing for a year. I danced for 6 years. Then Perry wants to get me on that. We got to get her back out on that. We got to get her back out on the pole and on the schedule. Can we not get her back out? We got to take all her money so it forces her back to dancing so we can get to her. Recording after recording of that. Who has those recordings? Which law enforcement agency has those recordings, Perry? That's who it's up to, not you. Because they got that information, didn't ask you what you thought. Didn't need to. You're about to go to jail. I'm not going to help you out of that. I can ask for some mercy, but you're going to get off on your own. You're going to get Mike home. And if you don't do it, they'll do it for you. If they can get what you just said, just like that, yellow brick road. Get her back out on that pole and on the schedule so I can get to her and hurt her. Ruin her life. Who sits around all day wanting to ruin someone's life? That's what the shrink said. You can't be normal and want to do that. I don't care who is on his little panel, a weirdo, sits around and tries to figure out how to do that. They're mentally ill. They're mentally ill too. Because you can't bring yourself to want to do that. Most people want to help. Look at the TV. Look at all the organizations we have formed to help relieve suffering. Look what people did at Hurricane Katrina, 9/11, Derek Chauvin. Every time we have a tragedy, people come in and start helping. They start helping. They start donating money. They start donating water. They start donating whatever they can. Clothes. It is against our nature to want to hurt and ruin somebody's life. And y'all have meetings about it all the fucking time. And you know how I know that? Because I hear a lot of them. Leaks and wiretap, whatever. I hear a lot of them. What courtroom have those already been played in? To get more. Who has those? Who in law enforcement has those? I have an email that says I heard it, and here's what specifically what was talked about. So you're gonna use my Uber Eats app to take a picture, have your buddy with a camera on his doorbell call and order food. So when I walk up, you get a picture, and then Perry's typing in my phone. I got your picture. Yeah. Well, I did say you're a stalker, and you hacked my phone. So what are you proving? You're doing exactly what I said. I mean, come on with this. Then, so my guy goes, they got your bank card today. Go look. I go look. Nope, it's gone. Yep, we saw him walk out with it. So what I want you to do is I want you to put your, report it stolen and to get a new one. Because you don't need it right now. You don't want to wait until you need it. And then you got to wait 10 business days to get a new one. So right now, report it stolen. He told me to go look. What if I hadn't looked for my Social Security card or my bank card? What if I had not been told, go look? Same thing with my taillights. He had your taillights taken out. Go look. You get in your car, you drive off, you go to work. You don't check your taillights every time you get in your car and go to work. He wakes me up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They just took your taillights out. Go look. I did. It was gone. It was out. I had to go buy a new one. That's on the Facebook. Under, I think, Manford Police, Mike Nealey's thing. So, I wouldn't know to fix that. I would have just gotten in my car and went to work and been pulled over. Because Mr. Perry loves to have me pulled over. I want you to confirm her registration and her driver's license. Do ya? Okay. We'll duly note that for the record in our court. And a lot of those guys don't like being used for that, Charles. One of them, some time ago, yep, I'm going to go to the bathroom when she blows by here. You're an awful man. You're a monster. And every time you're told on, that's people pushing back saying, yeah, we're not okay with this. We're not cool. It's not cool. We're not putting up with it. And whoever that was, they don't tell me who that was. They don't tell me who people are. A lot of times when I'm quoting somebody, I don't have any idea who I'm quoting. Sometimes I can tell from content, or I've heard them a lot, so I start recognizing their voice. Or I may know they work at a certain place. Oh, that guy works at this place. Or that guy does that because of content. But I was told about, that's 3 things I was told about. Because somebody was watching my home. Somebody's watching my home. You traipse around in my home when I'm not home. I promise you they know every time and they know everything you did. So you do what you do. And they do that, guess what? It's not up to you. That you got caught on that too. Get off me. Get out of my life. Or they'll do it for you. And it's not up to you.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
This is how most people saw this guy. Horrified by him. Horrified by him. Perry, I was horrified at what you did to Mike and Lucky. Horrified. We all were. A lot of people were. There might be a lot of people too scared to say what they really think to your face, but I promise you they'll say it all day behind your back.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
Oh, I forgot. I was going to go over the things that he was going to false arrest me for. There was that. Then he had, he was going to do Caitlin Arquette. Caitlin Arquette was murdered in Albuquerque, shot in the head. I never met her. I didn't hang out with her. I didn't go to her school. I went to a private school. And I didn't hang out with her crowd. Caitlin was in the drug crowd. That's how she got killed. She's driving down the street in Lomas, on Lomas in Albuquerque, and somebody walked up, and they know who did it. Her family hired a private investigator, and they know who did it. And so she was shot in the head, and I guess she lived a couple of days and then died. Her mom hired a private investigator, and then wrote a book about it. Her mom is a famous author, or was, Lois Duncan. And the book was called Who Killed My Daughter. My name's not in it anywhere. I hadn't heard anything about it. At the time, I'm 18 years old. I'm just like stepping out on my own. I'm consumed with my new job, my new house. I think my sister and I had an apartment. Our first apartment, we barely had a TV. We sure shit didn't watch the news. We went out with our friends. We're free now. We went out with our friends. We were with our boyfriends. So I didn't hear anything about it until I went to a friend's house, and our boyfriend's house, or a date, I think, and the guy had the book laying on his counter, on his coffee table, and picked it up and showed it to me, and he goes, "Did you hear about this?" And I was like, "What? That girl that got shot in the head going down Lomas?" And I go, "No, I didn't hear about it. What is it?" So he told me about it, and about, I don't know, a month or two later, I went to a writer's conference and met Lois. She walked up to me. She was signing books, and I was like, she showed me the book, and I said, "Oh, I've heard about this. My friend showed it to me at his house, and I'm sorry for what happened to you." And she goes, "Yeah, it's awful." That's how I heard about Caitlin Arquette. But Mr. Perry had people, you know how I said my dancer friend said, he's told us to try to find a way to false arrest you if you won't change your mind. And not like Fabian, but like him. And like, what the fuck is this all about? My guy went in and talked to her, Perry, after I told him what she said, because she was scared. He goes, "I'll go talk to her." He went and talked to her. And how many other girls did he talk to also? They have all that. What law enforcement agency has all that? They don't get rid of stuff. They keep it. We're using it. We're keeping it. We don't destroy evidence like you. We keep that. When I come up with an email from back in 2019, he's going to take my car, I keep that. You act like it's said once and then it just disappears into thin air. No, sir. We keep that. We're using it still, now. Look, he said it, Judge. This is the 50th time they've talked about this. Only now we got this new guy in. Let's get him on a wiretap. You don't think that's how that works? I mean, come on. Especially you guys who are cops that work for him. If you're a cop on the payroll listening to this. So then he goes, he's collecting all my cigarettes and my gum from Lady Godiva's. And actually, the gum, the waitress picked it up out of the trash and handed it to one of the guys there, and I grabbed it back from her. I said, what the hell is that? You know, this chick told me what's going on here. I don't think you're going to take my gum. She wouldn't give it back to me. So, then he was taking clothing items and all this stuff, and I was like, yeah, well, okay. First of all, I've never shot a gun in my life. Never picked one up. And second of all, the incidentals on my hands would have changed from like 40 years ago to now. So I'm going to have cuts and burns and shit on my hands now that I didn't have then. I met Perry in 2010. So imagine all the incidental changes between 1987 and 2022. Or then I think he's first started talking about that in 2016. So I've got 1,000 emails about that in 2016. He was recorded telling Fabian, I'm going to find a way to lock her up again, and she won't get out this time unless she's with me. You need to give up. So we have that recording still. Didn't disappear. What are you going to do when that popped out? In a courtroom. You got to think this stuff through, and you guys are funny. You never do. And then, so we got him on that one. And then it was drug trafficking. They had a drug guy go into my work, and there's all these girls standing right around him that do drugs. Everyone knows I don't do drugs. I didn't even smoke pot. Never even smoked pot. Barely drink. And then he calls me all the way over, away from my customer. I think it was Terry Wagner, actually, and tells me, go ask that guy if he wants my drugs. And I'm like, what, the cop over here I just got through talking to? No. I mean, what are you trying to pull here? So I went back and said with Terry, and he goes, oh, they're trying to get you on drug trafficking now. It's something different every week. But then they had Terry give me jewelry. His wife worked at the auction, and they had a bunch of jewelry dumped off at their house that didn't sell at the auction. He gives me some of it. I take a picture of it after they're recorded saying, well, we know, we'll starve her to death. Don't let her make any money. Jam up her abs. Tell her Upworks not to let her make any money writing, freelance writing. Yeah, like you jammed up my ClickBank account and all this stuff. You're caught. What courtroom is that going to pop out in? You better, it's not up to you. It's just not up to you. If you can't tell that every time you guys have to ask how'd she find out, you're just not all there. You got wires and shit missing. So they were like, he's supposed to give you jewelry. Then they're going to starve you to death so you go pawn it off, and then they're going to say you were in possession of stolen jewelry and have you arrested on that. Take a picture of the jewelry. So I take a picture of the jewelry. They take it to their guy. The jewelry guy goes, this is bullshit jewelry. It's not worth $10. This is Walmart crap. I don't think they had given it to her yet. Yep, caught on that one too. And then the next one was, what was the other one? There's been so many. Some other murder. I don't know, some girl that's fatter than me with hair is a little bit darker than mine but blonde. And her skin tone, they wanted me to tan, so my skin tone would darken up like hers. And they wanted me to give them the name of my hair color, so she can dye her hair the same color as mine. And then, but they recorded some of your witnesses telling you she's quite a bit heavier than Cindy, and I think Cindy's a little older. It's not the same girl. So you got caught on that one too. Countless of this bullshit. I'm watched over 24/7. So is my home. So are you. Because you kill people. You're in sex trafficking. And you don't get caught. You weren't caught. You did this all your life. You didn't get caught until you started fucking with me. By now, you ought to be able to put together the cause and effect. It's hysterical that you think you're getting away with this. Gets recorded on the 12th, telling my landlord, kick her out. I did a podcast on the 12th saying just that, and he's doing it anyway. And now they're like, oh, I guess he lied to us. Oh, you think? Why didn't you ask me? Always ask the person. When this person wants blah, 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 ask the person. We don't often need a spokesperson. We can talk for ourselves. I for sure can. I for sure can speak for myself. I'm not born yesterday. Get the fuck out of my phone. Get out of my computer. Stop jamming everything up because you're caught. And they sit there and record it every time you do that. They know. My guys know I haven't been able to get online for my school for 3 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah. How many of you men sit around on your fat, lazy, perverted asses trying to figure out how to ruin my life and make me fail? Too many. Get a life. Get a fucking life. Everybody else sees you like this guy sees Neil.
Okay, I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, You don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. And you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
Okay, so to close this up, when you contact me, when you invade my privacy, hack and peep and whatever you do, when you try to do something to hurt me, I have help. They go ape shit on you, and then you get told on. And it's been that way since the McNamara email of 2015 every day. How many recordings do they have? We don't dump that shit. We keep it. What courtroom is that going to pop out in? What courtroom is it already popping out in? What law enforcement agency has that? I don't want you, Charles. You disgust me. You're a cop killer as far as I'm concerned, because there's no way somebody's going to look like this. There's no way somebody's going to look like this right after they beat someone to death. His hands would look like Chief Miller's face, all bruised up. The red, swollen right hand Detective Stupid wrote about in his arrest report, the only injury on Mike, is caused from that IV needle in it. So, if you didn't do that, by the way, I was a subpoenaed witness. I gave a deposition. It was kind of a sting-op. It was a sting-op, really. And I filed 2 motions to intervene. There should have been a hearing to see if I had standing to do that, and there wasn't. There's too many ex parte hearings. There's no hearing where I'm there to show my evidence, put my witnesses on the stand, and cross-examine you. And everybody knows you shit yourself at the thought of it. Because I would, if I can sting up, I can do that on the stand too. 6 years you got me never to slip up about who's helping me. And we even were like, this is so fucking easy, I'm bored with this. Here's how you do it. Here's how you do sting-opping. You don't send a different guy in every, 5 guys in every night I work, all different people that I don't know, and ask me the weirdest questions on the planet. Where do you live? What's your real name? All the same. How tall are you? What's your shoe size? Oh, weird questions that normal guys don't ask. You send one guy in. You make sure he pays well. You make sure I feel nice and comfortable with him over a long period of time. Build rapport, build trust, and just let me talk and see if something doesn't come out on its own. That's what we do. I even told you how to do it, and you still didn't do it. 6 years, I got way the hell more out of you than you ever got out of me. Even I'm telling you how to do. Here's some. I'm bored. Somebody give you some tips so you can catch up a little. So I at least feel kind of challenged a little. Yeah, I even told one guy. I think he was in Stillwater. Don't send anybody in to sting on me unless he's CIA level trained. I can do it in my sleep. I suck at everything, but I don't suck at that. That I'm good at, and I'm really good at it. I got more out of y'all. You had 6 years. 6 fucking years to try to get me to slip up as to who these guys are helping me, and you got nothing, and I got a shit ton out of you. I got a text from David Robertson admitting he's trying to kill me with arsenic. I got a text from Terry Wagner indicating he's a conduit of coercion. I got Mickey James making death threats. I got texted. Not just said it, texted. I got Pinto offering $5,000 for a night of sex with Perry. Holy shit. That's prostitution right there, Captain. Don't you think? My socks aren't the problem, are they? Are they? So, and then you guys were trying to have a gun put in my trunk, then have me pulled over so the gun's found, or you wanted to blow my tire out so somebody changed my tire for me, then we'll get I have to check my car over every time I get in it. Is the taillight taken out today? Is there a gun in the trunk that I've never seen before? What do I do if I find the gun in my trunk? Who do you call about that? Who the fuck do you even call? I mean, I'm saying it now. It's documented for the record. That was talked about too. Over and over and over. You're caught. When you fuck with me, I have help. And it ain't up to you. It's up to them. This guy, Charles, I want for you to shut up. You're not in reality, and everybody thinks it's hysterical that you think you have a choice as many times as you've gotten caught. You are not all there. You seriously have a mind disease, mental illness, a bad one. You got delusion or something. Our shrink says she said you got something Alzheimer's related, because you never respond right to words said to you. You don't have any idea what the hell people are saying to you, do you? Even in these podcasts, you have no idea what I'm saying, do you? You don't get a date, you get caught. It's been 12 years of that every day. You think you have a choice? Get out, or he'll do it for you. It's up to him, not you. It's up to him, not you. If he can get that puzzle to me right there up under your nose in jail, it's up to him, not you. You're not wanted. You're the most disgusting piece of trash I've ever met. It is not romantic to try to ruin a woman's life. I think that's just the fraud, that you try to make everybody go along with your weirdo. We got to get her back to Texas. And then you will just say she just disappeared. You got me sold already, don't you? You took half the money up front. Now you can't deliver, right? That's why you're desperate to get me back to Texas? I don't know. That's what we heard somebody say today. So this guy, if you didn't do this murder, you would have said, we didn't do the murder or the vandalism that I reported 6 days before. We were recorded talking about getting my car. So we think you probably did. That's what I told this guy right here, Mr. Nealey, Officer Nealey. I have a stalker. We're in court right now. I got 5 of them, actually. One of them, dynamic shot, David Robertson, has his employee staying 2 doors down. That didn't mean he did it, but, I mean, chances are high. And he goes, that's weirdo. Yeah, you think? You think? So, if you didn't do the murder of Chief Miller and frame Mike right here, we want you to get him out, or we'll do it for you, and you won't like it how we do it any more than you like when we get what you just said. Get out of my life. Get out of my phones, my computer. Get your cameras off me, or he'll do it for you. And you won't like that any more than you like when we get what you just said. You're proving me out every day. How did they even know she was in Manfred? We're not stalking her. We had no idea what that's where she was. Aren't the allegations stalking? Yeah. Okay. Well, then how'd they fucking know she was there? If you didn't do that murder, you would have said we didn't do that murder. But you can clearly see Mike Nealey didn't do it either. So let's find out who did. Get him home. We backed up Blue. You didn't do that. Instead, you've tried to ruin me. You have your daily meetings. How can we ruin her? How can we ruin her? I'm not a criminal. I'd be in jail. I got cops all over me all the time. That's not my thing. And you know that. Or you wouldn't have to try to frame me. Would ya? With your little meetings. That's just not my thing. I think you know that you're trying to force a lie. That's what the guy said today. The marriage license isn't real. It was forged. There was no such thing. He lied to us. She never consented. And now he's trying to force her to lie too, and he's trying to use us to make her do it. Recorded, sir. You fuck off. Get out of my life. You're breaking the law. You're causing problems. You're pissing everybody off, and you're getting told on, and you're getting caught. And that's never happened to y'all before. It's happening now, and it's happening every day, and y'all don't get it? You think you have a choice? When I say stop it, I mean stop it. You don't have a choice. It's not up to you. When we get what you just said, you can't tell. You can't tell it's not up to you. This time it's different. You got a lot of victims, but this time it's different. So what planet do you live on? I don't know. Everybody's disgusted with you. Pissed off with you. At you. Mad at you. And Charles Perry, nobody cares what you think. Shut the hell up. Shut up. You aren't asked. Get off me.
Alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Now, I'm going to close this with this. I'm asserting my civil right of equal protection. My 14th Amendment right to equal protection in the application of all fucking laws that protect me from the injury you sit around trying to cause all day. I was a witness in a murder of a police officer. I'm still trying to get him out. The other one. The one you framed. You don't matter to me, Charles. I hate you. You're horrible. I was horrified by what you did to them. I'm not stupid. I read the whole docket, cover to cover. My testimony is not only in the deposition, I was a called witness, but I also filed the motion to intervene. That's my testimony. Go fuck yourself. I'm not going to change my story. I'm not going to lie for you. You're interfering with commerce and contracts to try to coerce a lie. It's not a crime, by the way, to interfere with a contract or commerce. It is commerce. It is not a crime to do just interfere with a contract unless it is intended to coerce a lie. Title 18, Section 1512 and 1513, or to retaliate against me. Get the hell out of my life. Get out of it. And all violence against women laws, and all domestic violence laws, and all stalking laws, and all anti-voyeurism, anti-hacking, anti-peeping, whatever the fuck it is you sit around doing all day that bugs everybody else. You're a menace. You're a fucking menace. Menace laws. I assert the right to equal application of those, equal protection. You're violating my rights every second of every day. And you will stop. Or the guys that tell me what you just said will do it for you. Good luck to you when that happens.